I want to bring in some members of our Huff-Po Sub community now who are going to join us to talk about their own experiences. So in our Google Hangout, we have Ora Nadrich, a life coach and mindfulness meditation teacher. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
This is from the Washington Post article. Pediatrician Jane Scott writes about the importance of looking up from devices when you're with your kids, especially in the doctor's office. And she argues, quote, consider the results of a March study by researchers from Boston Medical Center who carefully observed caregivers and children at fast food restaurants. Out of 55 caregivers, 40 used their mobile devices, and their absorption was such that their, quote, primary engagement was with the device rather than the child. In many cases, the caregivers expressed irritation when the children tried to get their attention. One observer watched a woman push a small boy away as he took her face in his hands in an attempt to get her to look up from her tablet. Ora, what do you think about that? You know, particularly what the pediatrician, the Washington Post, had outlined. What did you make of that?
Well, I have to say, I'm astounded at how often I see, just even in my own neighborhood, when I see moms, which that includes us, and caregivers who are on their cell phones while they're strolling babies. I mean, I'll be driving in my car and it'll get my attention. So I think that, yes, note to self, do not do that when you're with your child unless it's an absolute emergency and you have to be on that phone for a reason which you can explain to your child. Second, if you have a caregiver who's taking care of your child, tell them, do not be on your phone when you're strolling the baby. You know, we have to let them know. We all have to be in this conversation collectively together. It's a campaign for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, couldn't agree more.
These devices are not going away anytime soon. They are such a part of our lives. They are such a reality for everyone. And what I feel is that unless you start with a mindful relationship to the usage of these devices, you're going to miss out on all those moments because, as she's describing, look, share the moment, experience the moment first while you're having it, then take a picture of it. That's mindfulness to me. That's being in the moment with total awareness, without a gadget hooked to your hand, and you're with yourself in the moment that you're experiencing. I think unless we have a mindful relationship and use our devices mindfully, it turns into things like obsessive and compulsions and addictions.
Yeah,
and that's the very thing we want to stave off.
Yeah, absolutely. And you wrote a blog post to kind of touching on this, and I just want to read a little bit of an excerpt here where you write, quote, not being able to turn off our tech gadgets to quiet our minds for at least one point daily other than when we're sleeping doesn't really make us in control of how our minds are being used by the gadgets we've become so accustomed to and dependent on. So unless we're willing to say, stop the gadgets, I want to get off, at least once in a while, then the world will keep spinning faster and faster with us on it, and where it will stop, nobody knows. So how is technology somehow manipulating or having some control over our minds and our mental space?
Well, I think the how is about us allowing for that. And I think that Cat's campaign really targets it very importantly, in that we have to make the decision that this is a reality. We are in the techno age, and as she described, it's only going to increase. I mean, I have children, their apps, they have a new app every day. So how do we manage it? How are we able to use these devices in a way that they don't control us, we control them? Again, as I think Cat mentioned, it serves us. We don't serve it.